Hi, everybody. My name is Iskander. I got to be an intern for Scoops to You, and this is my presentation. So, Scoops to You is a private caterer and retailer located in Springfield, Virginia. They specialize in baked goods and selling different kind of frozen goods like ice cream all throughout the DMV. They can make any baked good you think of. And they've been in business for about 30 years. They service events all throughout the DMV. This year, my supervisor went to Monticello for America 250 and serviced 2,000 people for the country's largest naturalization ceremony. And we've also done events as far as Frederick, Maryland. So this business goes all throughout the DMV. So my role, when I got hired, my title was very lengthy, so I condensed it down to sales and operations. So on a day-to-day, I manage our internal and external communication. So I talk to prospective clients. I get information on what kind of event that they would like and how we could service them. Then I communicated to our different departments. Our accounting department, I'll speak with our head accountant, Julie, and I'll be able to see what kind of payments that a previous client wanted to do, whether it's ACH, credit card, through check. We accept all forms of payment. We also accept cash, which is less common nowadays. And then I prepare and clean data for our management team, specifically sales, to review. Because this is a seasonal business specializing in ice cream, June, the end of May through the end of August is peak season. It's very busy. So these sales numbers are really important for ordering inventory for the next year, sales projection for the next year, estimated staff, and overall maintenance for whatever company assets that we have. And then managing office and event flow. So after I do that initial client communication, and set up these events, I then go into our different programs and make sure we have those events set and that we have the appropriate staff that can go to certain events. All events aren't the same, and we don't serve the same thing at every event. So we need to have staff that can cater to our client. For my projects and contributions, there's not one specific thing I contribute to. This is a smaller family owned business in Springfield. So everyone there wears a lot of hats, and something that I do as intern is I am a second pair of eyes for everyone there. So managing client communication on a daily basis, I will log into my boss's email, whether that's in Microsoft Suite or Google, and I'll make sure that all the information he sent over is correct, that the client is executing the contract to the full extent, and that they've read the contract. Something that I've seen as an intern is that clients will read our contract and sign it without reading all of it and all the entails and details that are within that contract. Data synchronization across company platforms. We work in Google Suite, Microsoft Suite, a program called CRM, and we also work in something called Dispatch, which is our scheduling. And I go behind each of our management teams and make sure that everything is correct. If not, that throws off our sales projection, that throws off tax that's owed in the following year. So my job is to really go through everything with a fine tooth comb. And then lastly is auditing events. We have a standard operating procedure that every employee knows, office and warehouse. And whenever there's an important client that we want to maintain good relationships with, we send our office staff out to events to go and audit. So to make sure that we're serving the appropriate amount, we're serving accurately, and we're making sure that everything is being executed to the full extent of the program. And also just keeping the client happy, showing them that we really care about their business and that we're sending out people to make sure their event is well staffed and that it just runs smoothly. My grows and glows for this internship, I get immediate feedback on what I do. This is a very collaborative business, which I really appreciate. I have the ability to propose ideas. I'm able to say, hey, can I go to this event and help audit? If I see someone who needs help, I can talk to my management like, hey, can I pull back and help out the warehouse staff? Can I go to this event? Can I help pick up some slack so everything can move? Like this is a very open and communicative work environment, which I really appreciate. My supervisors are all very receptive to the questions that I have. I'm always asking for feedback so that I can grow and improve. Um, there's only so much that I can do within these 12 weeks, but in that, I feel that I have been able to grow my professional communication, just work in different platforms, and become a more whole professional. Um, this is initially when I started in like at the beginning of peak season. So the beginning of hiring, the beginning of trying to optimize our fleet. There was so much happening when I first started. I couldn't really find my footing. And for the first week of this job, I was just kind of a fly on the wall because I couldn't contribute anything. I was still trying to learn while my bosses were scrambling to do something with the bakery, help out the warehouse staff, calling clients because people are just not being as responsive over email. That's something that I also do. Our initial contact with any client is over email. And then as we're getting closer to our event and we need to confirm these details, I'll then just give our client a call. Just, hey, this is Alex from Scoops to You. I'm just calling to confirm. And then if it starts to go farther, then we just have to cancel their event. Sometimes because of how popular this business is and its high demand, we have some flexibility to where we can drop clients if they're just not being responsive, or if in the past this event has been so strenuous and just not worth the input, then we just can put a note in some of our programs for the next year or for the specific client. Watch out for this, be wary of that. Um, Something I really did like is meeting new clients. This business has more depth and reach than I ever imagined. When I first started, I did an event with the Catholic Diocese of Arlington, and we served like 8,000 people. Um, I've done events with Deloitte, with CSNBC, with the White House. It's been very interesting being able to just see how different professionals from wildly different organizations communicate and send over details and different payment methods that people use. Um, Professional communication was a really big takeaway for me. I can say that it's really improved on my end, just being able to see how my bosses operate and then how other people operate into different departments. I have been on so many email chains where people are being looped in, some people are being BCC'd, and it's just like the amount of collaboration that happens is more than I ever expected. Also, learning about truck maintenance. A lot of what we do, all of our deliveries are like truck based. So I've gotten to see what it's like to maintain a fleet of trucks, which is different than regular automotive maintenance. Like I like have a sedan and I know how to do whatever work on that, but that's totally different from a business trying to fix and maintain a depreciating asset. And then also distribution and supply management. I get to work in our accounting software and also use company resources to buy whatever we need. So I'll place orders with our distributor, schedule them to come to our warehouse, and then get the appropriate personnel in the warehouse, put everything away, and then go out to an event in that same day. The turnaround at this business is very fast. Looking ahead, I would love to intern somewhere else. I've been offered part-time here during the school year, so I'd love to continue and contribute there. Um, I always want to grow wherever I am. So whatever place I work, including here, I always want to stay inquisitive and ask more questions and continue to ask for more feedback and responsibility. That way I can just grow as a person and as a professional. And in this role, and God willing, in my next, I would like to use Tableau. I feel that more it's easier for people to understand and to see those visualizations rather than going into Excel. That's something that I would like to work on, and I would like to use my knowledge in Tableau to contribute to this organization or the next.